Right, so if we want some more rigorous integration between GitHub and Jenkins, we need to have a GitHub access token. This is fairly simple. You just from your you having been logged into GitHub, you can navigate to settings, developer settings, and then personal access tokens. And personal access tokens, you'll be asked to give the token a name. And then what type of permissions do you want to give whoever has this access token? At least these two we want to give out, right? We want to have being able to deploy and access the public repository. And in this particular one we want, the repo hook. Repo hook is what's going to allow GitHub to notify Jenkins that there has been a change, modification in the repository, and that they should kick off a build. Once you've done this, at the bottom you can say save, and it will display a long 32-bit UUID, right? That you can copy. This is the only time this access token will be ever displayed, right? If you leave this window, you'll never be able to access it. Right, so if you want to use it, you need to copy it then. Right, you need to copy it and paste it somewhere, perhaps. But once you leave this screen, you'll never be able to see the token ever again. Once you have that token, saved somewhere, you can now go and configure your pipeline, right? So that configure this access token into Jenkins, so that you can now you can create a credential in Jenkins that you can then use to identify your pipeline. So to create the credentials, you can go to Jenkins, Manage Jenkins, configure the system, and then down below in the GitHub servers, you can create new GitHub servers and configure a new GitHub server. At the GitHub server, you can say, well, how do you want to identify with this remote GitHub server? There's a whole bunch of ways. We're using the username and password, using assigned credentials, a whole bunch of different ways. We're going to be using an access token. So to do that, you need to select secret text, right? And then paste your secret in that secret, and then give it a name, give it a unique identifier. I typically use the same identifier that I gave when I created it in GitHub, so I know which ones match. Right? You should also add it here in the description, the same ID here in the description. Also, because when in the drop-down, when you get to choose which credential you want to use, the way you're going to be able to distinguish them is from this description. If you leave it blank and you have lots of credentials, right, you won't be able to tell them apart in the drop-down. Right, so remember to put it here in the description so you can tell them apart. Right, so once you save that, from the drop-down you'll be able to select it, and then you can test the connection to see if Jenkins is able to connect to GitHub, and verify that there's a connection between the two. GitHub will say, "Yep, that's the access token I gave you. You can talk to me now." Right. All right. So what we want to be able to do is to use webhooks. Right. We want to be able to have GitHub notify Jenkins of something that's going on in GitHub.